Hello and welcome to the Musical History of, a channel bringing you music history from around the world. Be sure to subscribe to receive notifications about our latest new videos. Alright, let's get started. Claude Debussy was a French composer whose innovative and influential music helped to define the Impressionist movement in music. He is widely regarded as one of the most important composers of the 20th century, and his music has been celebrated for its sensual beauty, impressionistic textures, and harmonic experimentation. Debussy was born in Saint-Germain-en-Laye, near Paris, France, on August 22, 1862. He was the eldest of 5 children, and his parents were a modest family of shopkeepers. At an early age, Debussy showed a precocious talent for music, and he began taking piano lessons when he was 7 years old. Debussy's early musical education was primarily focused on the classical repertoire, and he was particularly drawn to the works of Chopin, Mozart, and Bach. He was also interested in contemporary music, however, and he was exposed to the music of Wagner, Liszt, and others through the Parisian salons and concert halls that he frequented. In 1872, Debussy entered the Paris Conservatoire, where he studied composition, piano, and music theory. He was a talented student, and he quickly distinguished himself as one of the most promising young musicians of his generation. He was particularly drawn to the music of Richard Wagner, whose operas exerted a profound influence on his own compositions. After graduating from the conservatory in 1884, Debussy struggled to establish himself as a composer. He was known primarily as a performer, and he often played in salons and cafes to make ends meet. His breakthrough came in 1892, however, when he won the prestigious Prix de Rome, which provided him with a stipend and a 2-year stay at the Villa Medici in Rome. While in Rome, Debussy continued to compose and refine his craft. He was deeply influenced by the art and culture of Italy, and he was particularly inspired by the works of the Italian composers Monteverdi and Palestrina. He also began to develop his own distinctive style, which would come to be known as Impressionism. Debussy's Impressionist style was characterized by a focus on mood and atmosphere, rather than on traditional harmonic and melodic structures. His compositions often featured shimmering textures, delicate harmonies, and unconventional scales and modes, which created a sense of ambiguity and mystery. He also frequently used exotic scales and tonalities, which reflected his interest in non-European music. Debussy's most famous works include his Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun, 1894, which is based on a poem by Stéphane Mallarmé, and his La Mer, 1905, a 3-movement orchestral work that is often regarded as one of the greatest achievements of Impressionist music. He also wrote numerous other works for orchestra, as well as chamber music, piano pieces, and songs. Debussy's music was not universally appreciated in his own time, and he often found himself at odds with the musical establishment. He was accused of being overly experimental and non-traditional, and his works were sometimes dismissed as being overly sensual or even decadent. Despite these criticisms, however, Debussy's music had a profound impact on subsequent generations of composers. His Impressionist style helped to pave the way for the development of modern music, and his use of unconventional tonalities and textures inspired a new generation of composers to explore new frontiers in sound. Debussy's personal life was marked by both triumphs and tragedies. He married Rosalie Texier in 1899, and the couple had a daughter, Claude Emma, in 1905. Debussy's marriage was not a happy one, and he had a number of affairs during his lifetime, including a relationship with the singer Emma Bardak, who would later become his second wife. Debussy's health began to decline in the early 1900s, and he was diagnosed with cancer in 1909. He continued to compose, however, and his output during this period included some of his most celebrated works, including his String Quartet in G minor, 1893, and his Children's Corner Suite, 1908. Debussy's final years were marked by financial difficulties and personal struggles. He continued to work on his opera The Fall of the House of Usher, based on the story by Edgar Allan Poe, but the project was never completed. He died in Paris on March 25, 1918, at the age of 55. Debussy's legacy has endured long after his death, and his music continues to be celebrated and performed around the world. His influence can be heard in the works of numerous composers who followed in his footsteps, including Maurice Ravel, Olivier Messiaen, and even some contemporary musicians. Debussy's innovative approach to harmony, melody, and timbre helped to redefine the possibilities of classical music, and his contributions to the development of modern music continue to be appreciated by scholars and music lovers alike. Thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please let us know by clicking the like button, and if you're interested in learning more about music history around the world, be sure to subscribe to the Musical History of channel. Thanks.